Golden Retrievers are one of the most beloved breeds alive, and statistically, one of the most vulnerable. 65% will die from cancer, not old age, not accident, cancer. A figure so extreme it launched one of the largest veterinary studies ever undertaken. The explanation goes deeper into the breed than most owners would ever expect. Cancer claims the lives of more Golden Retrievers than any other cause, by a wide margin. In the United States, studies show that between 61 and 65% of Golden Retrievers die from cancer. This is not a small statistical quirk. It is a defining feature of the breed's health profile, seen across large veterinary necropsy series and national surveys. The numbers are consistent whether the data come from academic hospitals, breed club surveys, or major research initiatives like the Golden Retriever Lifetime Study. Within these cancer deaths, 4 tumor types dominate the story. Hemangiosarcoma stands out as the most common, a cancer of blood vessel cells that often strikes without warning and spreads rapidly. Lymphoma follows, affecting the immune system and leading to swelling of the lymph nodes, weight loss, and fatigue. Osteosarcoma, a bone cancer, is notorious for its aggressiveness and tendency to spread to the lungs. High-grade mast cell tumors round out the list, often appearing first as skin lumps, but capable of causing systemic illness. Together, these 4 cancers account for roughly 80% of all cancer deaths in Golden Retrievers. The scale of the problem is clear in the numbers. Out of every 10 Golden Retrievers in America, 6 or 7 will die from cancer, most often from one of these 4 diseases. This pattern is so pronounced that it sets Golden Retrievers apart even among other large breeds. Understanding which cancers are most common and how frequently they strike is the first step in unraveling why this breed faces such a heavy burden. In the clinic, the story behind those statistics becomes painfully real. Most Golden Retrievers diagnosed with cancer arrive already facing an uphill battle. The most common tumors, hemangiosarcoma, lymphoma, osteosarcoma, and high-grade mast cell tumors, are notorious for their speed and silence. Hemangiosarcoma, for example, often grows hidden inside the body until it ruptures a blood vessel, leading to sudden internal bleeding and collapse. By the time symptoms appear, the disease is usually advanced, and metastasis has already occurred in the majority of cases. Lymphoma and osteosarcoma also tend to spread quickly, making curative treatment rare. A board-certified veterinary oncologist explains that they see far too many Golden Retrievers where the first sign is a crisis, collapse from internal bleeding, or severe lameness from a bone tumor that is already spread. Even with aggressive treatment, survival times are measured in months, not years. This clinical reality helps explain why cancer so often cuts Golden Retriever lives short. Late detection, internal location, and aggressive biology combine to leave little room for intervention. Treatments like surgery and chemotherapy can offer more time, but for most families, the prognosis remains poor. Understanding how these cancers behave in the body is a necessary step before asking why Golden Retrievers are so vulnerable in the first place. Every Golden Retriever alive today carries a genetic legacy shaped by decades of selective breeding. The breed's popularity has come at a cost, a gene pool with limited diversity. On average, Golden Retrievers in the United States show an inbreeding coefficient of about 8%, meaning many dogs inherit identical stretches of DNA from both parents. This narrowing of genetic options increases the odds that harmful mutations, including those linked to cancer, will be passed down and concentrated in each new generation. A canine geneticist explains that when you have a closed gene pool and popular sires, you are amplifying both the good and the bad. In Golden Retrievers, that means a higher risk of inherited disease. Recent studies have identified specific genetic variants that shape the breed's fate. 1. A protective change in the ERBB4 gene can add nearly 2 years to a dog's lifespan, 13.5 years on average for carriers, compared to 11.6 years for those without it. Yet, not every Golden inherits this advantage. Another mutation found in the TNNI3 gene causes a rare but deadly heart condition in young dogs. The weight of these inherited risks is not just a matter of luck. It is written into the breed's DNA, making some vulnerabilities nearly impossible to avoid. The next step is to look at how these genetic patterns play out in real-world populations. The Golden Retriever Lifetime Study stands as the largest effort ever undertaken to understand health and disease in this breed. Beginning in 2012, researchers enrolled 3,044 purebred Golden Retrievers from across the United States, each between 6 months and 2 years old. The goal was ambitious: to track every aspect of these dogs' lives from youth through old age, collecting a wealth of data year after year. Owners and veterinarians complete detailed annual questionnaires, documenting everything from diet and exercise to environmental exposures and medical history. Blood, urine, hair, and even tumor samples are collected and stored, building a biobank that supports a wide range of scientific analyses. As of 2021, over 2,250 dogs remain active in the study, with 352 confirmed deaths and 441 lost to follow up. The study's design allows researchers to observe how health outcomes develop over time, rather than relying on memories or incomplete records. This approach offers a rare window into the real world risks Golden Retrievers face, making the data more reliable than most breed-specific research. Still, there are limits. All participants joined voluntarily, which may mean their owners are more health conscious than average, and nearly 80% of the dogs are neutered, reflecting common United States practices. Despite these factors, the Golden Retriever Lifetime Study provides the most comprehensive dataset available for understanding why these dogs live and die the way they do. Not every risk for Golden Retrievers is written in their DNA. The world they live in and the choices made on their behalf can nudge their odds in one direction or another. Exposure to pesticides has been linked in some studies to higher cancer rates in dogs, though the evidence is strongest for rare cases of direct, repeated contact. Secondhand tobacco smoke is another factor under scrutiny, with veterinary research suggesting a possible association with lymphoma and nasal tumors in dogs exposed at home. Obesity stands out as one of the most consistent, preventable health risks. Overweight Golden Retrievers are more likely to develop joint problems and may face shorter lives overall. Decisions about spaying or neutering can also influence long-term health. Early sterilization has been associated in some research with increased risk of certain cancers and orthopedic disorders, though the full picture is still being studied. Heart conditions and joint diseases, while sometimes inherited, are also shaped by factors like exercise, weight, and routine veterinary care. While no single lifestyle change can guarantee a longer life, small choices, like a healthy diet, regular activity, and minimizing exposure to toxins, offer Golden Retrievers their best chance for more good years. Breeders today have more tools than ever to screen for inherited health risks in Golden Retrievers. The Orthopedic Foundation for Animals, OFA, along with the Canine Health Information Center, CHIC, provide widely used registries where breeders can submit test results for hips, elbows, eyes, heart, and thyroid function. These registries promote transparency and help guide breeding decisions, but their reach is limited when it comes to the complex genetics behind most cancers. Genomic panels offered by companies like Embark can test for hundreds of known mutations, including some linked to rare neurological or cardiac disorders. For Golden Retrievers, these panels cover a handful of breed-specific conditions, but most cancer risks remain out of reach. The major cancer protective variant in the ERBB4 gene, for example, is not yet part of standard testing. Still, some breeders are eager to use every option available. As one breeder puts it, "If a test exists, I want to know. Even if it only rules out a small part of the risk, it is worth it for the dogs and their families." Screening frameworks and genetic panels offer a practical starting point, but the science is still catching up to the breed's most urgent health challenges. Efforts to address the Golden Retriever's health crisis have sparked ongoing debate within the breeding community. One proposal, known as outcrossing, involves introducing genes from other breeds to widen the genetic pool. Supporters argue that this strategy could reduce the concentration of harmful mutations and lower the risk of inherited diseases, including cancer. Critics, however, raise concerns about losing traits that define the Golden Retriever's temperament and appearance. The conversation often turns toward transparency, sharing full health records, genetic test results, and family histories to help breeders make more informed decisions. Alongside these discussions, advances in genomic selection offer a way to manage risk over time. By using genetic data to guide breeding choices, it becomes possible to gradually reduce the proportion of dogs carrying certain disease-linked genes without sacrificing the breed's identity. Yet these tools require patience and cooperation across generations. No single approach guarantees a solution. The path forward demands a careful balance between tradition, science, and the well-being of future dogs. Today, science offers hope alongside heartbreak. As genetic research advances, responsible breeding and early screening gain urgency, not just for Golden Retrievers, but for all breeds shaped by human choices. The health of our companions depends on what we do next and how deeply we care to change.